So today we are going to be fighting off Dodge owners with this Blessed Performance shield and their wire loom bat. It's good for, the shield's good for pushing them back, keeping them at bay, whilst this, it's nice and short, kind of like other things. So, there's a lot of wielding. If, you get the longer ones, there's just not a lot of maneuverability. So we're going to put this on the 6.0 while also fending off all the Dodge owners, because they're just jealous because the 6.0 Power Stroke's the best engine ever made. But on a real note, I'm going to show you an upgrade from Blessed Performance. If you have a 6.0 Power Stroke, you already know that you have these two things that is wrong with your engine bay. And if you don't have these parts, your engine bay probably doesn't really look that good. So let me show you what we're dealing with and why we are swapping these parts out, not only for looks. Okay, it's mainly for looks, but it just looks a lot better, and this is why. So we all have this horrible, flimsy, dry, disgusting thing that's always just, it's broken. I don't think I've ever seen one on a 6.0 that isn't just cracked and completely destroyed. So obviously this bad boy here is gonna go in and replace it. So just a huge shout out, obviously, to Blessed Performance for making this stuff, because I've seen these at truck shows, and from my understanding, a lot of this stuff was discontinued. Not a lot of people make them anymore, but Blessed Performance stepped up to the plate and was able to actually make something for a 6.0, guys. I feel like we're forgotten about a lot in the truck community, at least when it comes to mods and everything. I see a lot of these for like Duramaxes and Cummins and everything, but not a lot of people make them for 6.0s. And I'm going to drop the link down below where you guys can find this, the wire loom holder deal. The entire engine bay is going to be cleaned up. I think the only thing that I'm really going to be missing from here is just changing up the piping. But let's get the install on this. It's going to be pretty quick and easy. I think all that is really holding any of this stuff together is tabs. Let's go ahead and throw this on. Let me show you how to do it. So the only thing that's holding this thing together are some of these crappy little plastic clips. So mine, because it's so torn apart, it only had 3 on the inside here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, and then another 4 up there, and they weren't even holding down this thing. So it looks like there's about 7 of those tabs. Do yourself a favor, make sure you got the little tab puller, because I just used pliers and a flathead screwdriver. But it doesn't matter because this thing was junk regardless. So here's the factory one that you get from Ford, and then this is what Ford should have given you instead of this. So yeah, this has been like a huge thing I've been like self-conscious about. People are like, let's see what's underneath the engine bay. And I'm like, showing off this, and it's obviously not really, I'm not showing it off, but it's there. So yeah, this is what Ford should have given us. And I'm super excited to put this on. So let's see, it's probably gonna help if I take off this grill. So let me take this grill off so I don't scratch it up, because this is a new one I just got painted. So to install this, the only thing you have to take off other than this nasty thing is going to be this deal right here that engages or disengages your hood latch, whatever. So it's going to be just 2 little screws, little cable right here that keeps it attached. And then what you're going to do is grab this bad boy and you're going to loop that latch through this hole. So go through here, loop her in just like that, and then she sets in there. Simple as that. And then we'll grab this bad boy, set it back in, and it screws in there, and voila, you got a whole latch and everything set up. Now, Blessed Performance does provide all the hardware and everything you need, so you don't need to worry about buying any nuts, screws, or whatever you need to install these. So that's another positive thing about it. Everything comes with it. So here's that little baggie, and they provide you with 4 screws. We're going to line one up here at the top. You're going to see your 2 holes here. Bam, bam. And then you're going to have 2 center holes on the inside of this as well. Since we still have these little plastic clips left over, I went ahead and seated mine right there. Almost fell off my chair. Seated there. And since we got another hole left here, I'm going to go ahead and push this one in. Looks a lot cleaner, and plus, I mean, that's what it's there for. So go ahead, push that one back in, and honestly, this looks stupid clean. That looks literally amazing. Just that single part right there. Now let's go ahead and install the wire loom also, and that's gonna just completely upgrade this engine base. So now that we got that bad boy done, let's focus on this ugly wire loom. And as you can tell, I got her zip tied up because all the clips and everything are broken. So honestly, it's pretty straightforward and simple. I think all you really need is a knife to just cut the duct tape that attaches it to this. So we got a little tab, looks like underneath right there, holding it on, and a few more there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those. Well, turns out my mic wasn't connected, so there's absolutely no sound on that one. But I mean, it's very straightforward and simple. You got your 2 bolts that come with it, bolts on the left, bolts on to the right. You run your wire loom inside of it, attach it to the holes that are on the bottom of those clips, and it just seats in there pretty easily. So I mean, right there's just a day and night difference. Obviously I need to do some of my piping and everything in here, but just for those 2 things, it makes it pop and makes it a whole lot cleaner. Now I do have the reservoir I'm going to be reinstalling, so I had to pull it out, get it repowder coated again for the 2nd time, and put that back in there, and I'll show you guys whenever we get that done. But let me know what you guys think. Is it worth it? I mean, those don't stand out whatsoever. Plus, they just look horrid. I mean, I guess if you had like a factory one of those, it'll look okay. But I don't know. I've dealt with that thing for years, and this just makes it look way freaking cleaner. I'm just personally a huge fan of this right here, because anytime I remove the grill or have any parts here, I'd always stuff it in here, and because it was cracked and brittled, I would have parts fall all the way through there, and it just was super simple. So I just realized I didn't even have these installed. I had those get repowder coated, but yeah, so this is a finished product right here. That's what it's supposed to look like with your radiator brackets. So this is what it'll look like final product, but that's what it's supposed to look like with the final product. So let me know what you guys think. If you got any recommendations on anything more to add. I know that some companies make some like battery covers and everything like that. I've kept, for those of you wondering, the factory air filter. So the reason that I kept that factory air filter is because I was told that filters a lot better than a cold air intake. Now the cold air intakes being right in the engine bay, you've seen them how they have no cover and they just sit right here. Well, that's basically a hot air intake where it's just breathing in the hot air. This one here has like a little reroute deal to where it's taking in fresh air from this hole right here. So anything that's going into this is breathing back in here. So that is cooler air than just an intake that just sits right here and breathes in all the heat from a 6.0's very hot motor as it is already. These are actually taking in the cooler air from the outside, and they're filtering a lot better is what everyone says. Everyone told me it's just like, there's not really a reason to put an aftermarket one until you start making horsepower or something like that. And once I saw that they're like $600 for like the fancy ones, I'm just like, you know what? I'm pretty satisfied with my factory one. So I've never had any issues with it. I think the biggest thing about the air filters on those are super annoying to replace. But she is looking good under the hood, boys, and you guys can get yours at blessedperformance.com. I have everything linked down below for these. Those of you wondering the total time, like I said, I think that was about 15, 25 minutes. Let's say about that. This here took me about, I don't know, I'd say almost 15, close to 20, just because fighting those little tabs to get that wire loom to seat on there properly was annoying. So it's not hard, it's just like, it's a very tight space, and getting your fingers in there and pushing in the tabs and everything, pulling them out is what was kind of difficult. This, on the other hand, was very smooth, very easy. But overall, I'm 110% satisfied with Blessed Performance yet again. Highly recommend this company, whether it be tunes, parts, interior, exterior, they got it. These guys are definitely the one-stop shop and a great hookup for any diesel mod needs. And not only that, they have amazing customer service. I've been working with these guys for the past few years. You can see them at multiple shows throughout the year. Just stop by their booth, talk with them. Very genuine people, will have a conversation with you. And on top of all that, they're just very humble people. So make sure to check it out, guys. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you got any comments. I'm going to try and answer them as best I can. We'll see you on the next one.